What's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the true cost to starting an Amazon business in 2021. I'm going to break down what all of the optional and mandatory costs are when you are getting started and creating your Amazon business for the very first time. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so as I mentioned, today's video, we are going to be breaking down the exact cost in which it is to start an Amazon business successfully. If you guys like this content, do not forget to smash that like button. Make sure that you are subscribed and hitting the notification bell so you can be alarmed every single time that I post awesome videos just like this one. The actual cost of starting an Amazon business in 2021, I am going to be going over what the costs are for the different arbitrage models this will apply to most specifically. So if you're doing retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, or wholesale, this will be for you. If you are wanting to do private label, do not click off of this video and make sure that you watch it through, because I'm going to convince you why you should be doing wholesale or one of the other arbitrage methods over private label just solely based on the startup costs. Let's go. All right, so the first thing you're going to need to do is create a Seller Central account. So Seller Central is essentially the platform that you use to communicate with Amazon, list your product, create shipments, all of those things. So they actually have two different types of subscriptions. They have the individual account and the professional account. So individual is 100% free of charge. The only caveat is that they charge $1 per item sold on the platform. So if you plan on creating any actual wealth with this and creating a tangible side business or turning this into your full-time income one day, you're gonna be wanting to sell more than 40 units per month, which is exactly what the professional account comes in at. So the professional account gives you unlimited amount of sales, and Amazon will charge you in exchange $40 on a monthly basis. So this is, in my opinion, an absolutely necessary cost and something that you should just start out with right out of the gate. As a little pro tip, if you actually sign up for the account and don't sell anything in your first month or first couple months, you can actually just phone Amazon. They will give you a refund on that $40. So it's really risk-free and something I would do first and right away. So the next thing that we're going to be talking about is product research tools. So there is a whole suite or list of product software and research tools that we use in our own business, but I'm just going to go over the absolute essentials today. So the most essential tool that we use for product research is Keepa. So Keepa is a software that essentially can give data about any product on Amazon's platform for as long as it's been on there. So you can see all kinds of trends, seller data, price data, how a product is performing. Everything can be told through Keepa. So in my opinion, absolutely necessary. Keepa comes in at 15 euro, which works out to be about 18 US dollars. Absolutely, you will need Keepa to get yourself started. The next thing that I think is mandatory is a profit tracking software. So you need to know how your business is doing, if you are making money, if you're profitable at the end of the day. So for our business, we use a program called Sellerboard. There are many others out there that can do the same thing, and they have varying costs, but for us, Sellerboard comes in at $15 per month. The next thing that we're gonna talk about is inventory. So inventory is gonna be by far your largest expense and is going to be the largest expense on an ongoing basis. But the positive thing about that is the more you're spending on inventory, ideally the more money you are making. So inventory is a really good cost to have, and never really think about it as a liability or a negative thing. But for the sake of startup costs, you definitely are gonna need to purchase inventory. So if you're just getting started, I would recommend anywhere from $500 to $1,000 in inventory. This will allow you the ability to purchase multiple different items as well as multiple different types of items. So this way, when you're just getting started, just getting your feet wet, although you do have product research tools that will tell you roughly how a product's gonna perform, how quickly it'll sell, how much profit you're gonna make, the market will always change slightly and things won't be exactly how you calculated. So this way you're able to send in multiple different types of products. Then from there, you can see which products sell best, how much profit you made, how fast they sold, etc., etc. And then you can go back and repurchase those items and just resend those items in and profit on a monthly basis on all of the best items. So if you stick with $1,000 for inventory, you're going to be safe because then you can purchase multiple different items and really just spread that risk out. So that sums up the absolutely mandatory costs in order for you to get started and launch your very first product on Amazon. So if we add all of those up and we take the $40 for our professional account, we are going to spend $18 on Keepa. We are going to look at $15 for a profit tracking software, something like Sellerboard. And then lastly, we're gonna have $1,000 for inventory on being able to make our first purchases. So that'll come in at a grand total of $1,073. And this is just going to be at a bare minimum. If you don't have that much sitting around or waiting for you, I would definitely get to work and start saving some cash. Once you have somewhere in the ballpark of that number, then come back to the idea, but I wouldn't recommend starting if you have less than like $1,000 that you can put into this business. Next, let's go over all of the optional costs. So there's definitely some optional costs that I think are much better than others, but there are also some optionals that you will need as your business grows and scales. And these things will just make your life easier, will save you time, and ultimately will help drive more sales and more profit. So the first tool I want to talk about is Jungle Scout. And there's many different tools out there. Again, for every software tool that we're gonna mention, there's probably 3 to 5 other ones that are worthy competitors. But for our own business, we use the Jungle Scout extension tool. So this tool will essentially allow us to estimate how many sales that we can expect to make on a monthly basis, depending on the item, the market, and all kinds of different things. So Jungle Scout comes in at $30 per month for the extension. There are definitely free ways that you can go out and do this, and this is why it lands in the optional thing. It's gonna save you time, it's gonna save you effort when doing your product research. The next thing is gonna be a tool called RevSeller. So RevSeller is a handy little tool that is built into every Amazon listing screen once you install it as an extension, and this will give you profit tracking. This will tell you if you're gated or ungated for different brands and categories. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll link another video here where you can figure out what ungating is and how you can get ungated for products. But as well, RevSeller will tell you if a product is hazmat. It will give you pricing information about your competition in one easy to handle little tab that populates directly embedded to your screen on every Amazon listing. So again, this is a time saver. This is something that will save you hours and hours and hours on product research. So it's an amazing little tool that we use in our business. So RevSeller is $100 for a full year subscription. So I'm just going to round that down to the monthly basis or the upfront cost of about $10. The next optional piece of software is going to be a repricer. So getting into repricing will make you more competitive, will drive more sales, it will help you keep more profit in your business. We went an entire year selling on Amazon before we needed to put in a repricer, before it was worth it for us to pay the fee. So repricers can range vastly, and there's a big gap based on the types of features that it offers you, as well as what it can do on the back end and how much power, I guess, it has built into it. So repricers go anywhere from about $30 per month all the way on the very premium end to $500 per month for some of them. So we're gonna keep it on the low end of about $30 per month. And this is an awesome little price point to be at that can get you a repricer that will just give you a little bit of a leg up on your competition. The next category I'm gonna talk about is a course or a mentorship. And I know what you're thinking, this guy's gonna come here and try to sell me a course or a mentorship or try to get me to pay him money. Well, I'm not here to do that today and in this video, but I want to also explain how courses and knowledge have helped us grow and scale our businesses faster than if we would have not spent the money. So a course is something that can be put together, and as long as you do your research right to make sure the person actually is involved in the business themselves, has a proven track record, and can actually help you in the industry, it is a really good way for you to have access to a mentor, to someone who's doing this that might be making 6, 7, or 8 figures on already having this business, and they put together a course that has all of the knowledge and information nicely bundled there for you and can take you step by step by step from A to Z and show you exactly what you need to be doing, clicking, and thinking about when building your business. This can be not only a massive time saver, but can unlock ideas and potential that you didn't even know was possible. And you're gonna see things in these types of courses and mentorships that you're not gonna be able to find on YouTube, or, and more commonly, you're not going to be able to have a package where somebody on YouTube is able to just piece this all together and really go in depth and long form on how you are able to actually achieve the things you need to do and the exact steps and order in which you do it in order to be successful. So I'm absolutely no different than anyone else who puts content out there. Unfortunately, we have to make content like this that helps people make decisions, but also has a little bit of a clickbaity aspect on it. So it ends up being, unfortunately, a lot of really beginner videos and a lot of stuff to just get people interested in clicking on, you know, my videos. So this is no different than any other YouTuber. And then once you go and you take the initiative and the next step to purchasing a course or a mentorship with the person, they can really spend the time and effort to do a deep dive in to what it means and give a step-by-step guide on exactly how you can actually set things up for yourself in the best way possible and to be the most successful. And the last thing is going to be setting up an LLC or a corporation, depending on where you are located. Again, I'm not a lawyer or an accountant, so I'm not going to give advice on what best fits your personal situation, but I will say I know there are businesses out there if you're in the US like LegalZoom, and LegalZoom can help you create a business entity or LLC for as little as $80 and a one-time cost, as well as state filing fees and things like that, but that is going to vary. Now let's add up all of our optional costs and then we'll look at what they look like in comparison to our mandatory costs. So we have a tool like Jungle Scout coming in at $30. We have a tool like RevSeller coming in at about $10. We'll have a repricer that's going to run us $30 per month. Courses and mentorships and knowledge honestly will just vary and completely depend on the person, the value given, and their experience. So those can range anywhere from $100 to upwards of $2,000. So I'm going to kind of go right in the middle and make it easy at about $1,000 you can expect to spend for a total package, A to Z, everything included type of course. A little bit of a side note, Elite Wholesale is only $297 right now, link in bio. Go check it out. And then obviously the LLC that I talked about coming in at $80 for a cost. So if we add all of these up, we are sitting at about $1,150. So these are just our optional costs and something that we're going to think about spending once we are already established as sellers. So let's go ahead and put those costs together. So we have our mandatory costs at $1,073, and then we have our optional costs coming in at $1,150, and that gives us a grand total of $2,223. If you were to go out today and grab all of my recommendations for mandatory costs and software, as well as all of the optional costs. So like I mentioned, it's completely possible for you to get started in this business for around $1,000. Now, if you're watching this video and you don't have at least $1,000 to dedicate to inventory and all of the other associated costs, I would highly recommend just find a job if you don't have one and just keep saving up. Or if you're already working, try to put a little extra money aside every single month till you get at least $1,000 in the bank that you can comfortably put towards starting this business. There are no guaranteed results and it's not going to happen overnight. So just expect that you will see that money within, a week or two. It's going to take at least a couple months until you start seeing a profit coming in. So get together that $1,000 and then you can start looking at launching your very own business. All right, guys, I've made this video long enough and I hope that you got some valuable insight today on exactly what it costs to start up an Amazon business in 2021. If you guys like this content, do not forget to smash the like button. Make sure that you are subscribed and hitting that notification bell. Other than that, that is all I have for you guys today. Take care and peace.